We've never sold one of these for less than $200, and they sell super, super, super quick. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to talk about something that sells incredibly well. We're going to be talking today about vintage airbrushes. I've got a few here. I've got quite a few in my personal collection. I do love airbrushes, Pachets. This is an AB type. External, internal. I have vintage ones like this one here that was made in the 19th century. Most of these right here were made in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, and they all still work. I literally still use these. There's a lot of money to be had. Even the parts and pieces on these can sell for some extremely good money. Let's take a closer look at these right now before we show you some of the insane values some of these can go for. So this one here is a Thayer and a Chandler, and this one's very deceiving in age. This one was made in 1897. This is one of my favorite ones. Now, it may not look like much, but this still actually works. I've run stuff through this one. Cup goes there. There's the needle. It's actually repairable. All of these sorts can still be repaired and used. Just like this one here, this Pachet AB model. This is a very well-known one. This one sounds like a dental drill when it's running. This is early 1930s. Bakelite handle here. It's marbled. Now, this one's in working condition. I use this one still. All of these will go for at least $200 with the box, the tools, and the whole works. I love airbrushes. I'm old school. I do digital work too, but I love airbrushes. These are actually out of my personal collection. Here's another Pachet. Again, I use these all the time. These are one of my favorite ones out on the market. These work excellent. All of these will get me $200 plus. Every one of these. Just the little cups, the reservoir for the paint itself, I can get 10 or 15 bucks if it's a vintage early one like this. With the case, you can usually get more. With the box and the paperwork like this one, I should get $250 or better if I wanted to sell that. Now let me just show you one more here. This is another Thayer and Chandler. This one's a pretty nice one here. The cup on these, again, can go for some good money. Now I've shown you several different examples here. Some of these are external mix paint. Some are internal. Some are single. Some are double action where you can push back to release and push down at the same time to increase the pressure. So there's a bunch to these, but any of these earlier ones do excellent for us. Now, with the advent of digital and computer artwork, a lot of people don't mess with airbrushes so much these days. Now, I'm old school. I love airbrushes. You can do a heck of a lot of stuff with them on objects and all sorts of things. Model makers will use them religiously. Most people who get and who are into airbrushes like me love the older ones. There's not much to an airbrush. As long as you understand how they work, you can repair and fix almost anyone out there in the market, even if they're 130 years old, like I showed you in the beginning of the video. Now here's a new one, Iwata. It's a very well-known Japanese brand. There's many different varieties of them. They've sold well over 50 of these, as you can see. $694 and some change on this one. They're excellent ones as well. Any of this brand usually sells for some very good money. Now this is NOS. This is in the box. It has all the accessories. You can just have the airbrush itself and still get hundreds of dollars. Now here's a vintage Wald. This is probably circa 1920s or 30s. They actually have the title wrong. It should be Wald, W-O-L-D instead of Word. Just a typo in their listing. Someone still knew exactly what this one was. Loose, out of the box, whether it works or not, whether you know if it works or not, it will still sell. Now, the biggest thing that goes wrong with most of these is a needle or the tip is broken or something like that. All of the parts can be replaced. As I said, this is a perfect example. This is an AB Turbo. Similar to the Pachet one I showed you, it's AB, same basic type, made the same way, same construction, same basic everything. It's just a different brand. This brand is fairly scarce, so any of these Walds, W-O-L-D, will sell for some insane money. This one's almost $400 untested as you see it. Now here's an Iwata Medea. This is just a brand, a version, a type of these. You can see the needle, the pin at the very top of this, as well as the tools to take it apart and fix it. Again, these are well usable. I don't care if they've been used or not. I still get top dollar for them every time I list them. Most of the good airbrushes won't be up for very long. Every one I put up, especially like the vintage ones that I showed you in the beginning, those will sell pretty much almost immediately if you put a buy it now with best offer or just a flat out good price on them. Again, I usually get 200 plus for every one of those types that I do get. Now here's a vintage Thayer Chandler, similar to the one I showed you from 1897. This is a much newer one. This is 20s or 30s. Still an excellent version. It has the box and all. So it's probably a little later, I would say, from the looks of the box and the construction itself. Still very good for $202 for this. Many of the earlier ones are made out of brass, so there's not much that can go wrong with them. This one is a brass one, as you can see. Same, almost nearly identical construction to the one that I showed you. Now, another leading manufacturer of airbrushes is Badger. Most of the Badger ones go for some decent money. I've got a few in my collection. I use a Badger as well fairly regularly. This is a nice one, has the box and the whole works. I believe this one is at least 30 or 40 years old if my memory suits me correctly. Still a very nice one. The box does help and add to some of the value, as does all the accessories and pieces that originally came with it, especially the wrench to take it apart and fix it. Now here's another walled with the box and the instruction sheet as well. Again, they all look so similar to each other. Many of these priced is determined by the type. AB is one of the most popular. Most of these sorts, the double action ones, do go for some good money. Those are the ones that are more sought after. Double action meaning that if I push down, I can get paint. If I pull back and push down, the pressure will increase and I'll get more flow as well. If you know airbrushes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just like the AB type is one of the highest collectible ones out there. Every one I get, I could sell immediately. So excellent area to make some good money in. Now here's an interesting one here, Rot Ring. It's one you're not going to run into very often. I don't know if I've ever run into one of these, but all of these oddball ones like this do extremely well. Looks like a very nicely designed piece. Looks like it's solid construction. Price-wise, it went very well too. Most any of the solid, nice ones like this will do you fairly well. Now here's another good brand name here, Harder and Steenbeck. Now most of theirs will sell for a few $100s regardless of the type or model. They're all very similar. Most of them come with a kit or extra parts, so you can fix them as well. Now most of them will come with only one paint cup. Some come with extra depending on the kit that you bought. Most of them too, you can buy the extra parts. Even parts and pieces from these I always sell. Again, I do collect, so I don't sell the majority of the ones that I get. I do mess with them and I do repair them. I do fix them up and use them, as do a ton of other people. So most people buying these will be able to fix them. They understand how they work. So I never even worry about testing them if I plan on selling them. Obviously, a complete and working one will always do better, but you don't have to worry about that with this area here. Just make sure that it's all there. As I said in the beginning, the Pache Type AB are some of the most sought after ones. These honestly do sound like a dentist drill when they're running, or maybe a tattoo gun to some extent. They're extremely well sought after. I have never held on to one of these if I wanted to get rid of it more than a day or so. I just put it up at a decent price as a bin, as I said, with the BO, and off they always go. This is the most sought after one. I have a list of people that will buy this exact same version from me, any of the AB types from Pache, immediately. So again, if you know the right people, you know the right items, you source, you hunt enough, you're going to be able to score some of these. I find these even at thrift stores, estate sales 100%, even flea markets, antique malls, church sales, garage sales. Any place I go, you have an opportunity to run into these. I don't mind sinking money into them either. Usually I don't spend more than say 20 or 30 bucks at the most for any of these, but as you can see, the value is there. They're quick and easy movers, every single one I've ever had. Here's another AB type by Pache as well, similar to the one I have. There are many different varieties of this exact same ones. Different Bakelite handles, marbleized, non-marbleized, in kits, different models, different versions depending on the year that they were released. Even in the same year, you could bought several different versions of the AB type as well. By Pache, many other companies made them, just like Wald as the one we showed you before. So excellent ones to look for. Pache is my #1 brand that I like to snag up the most. So I enjoy finding these as well because I get to play around and make sure it works myself. I do love messing with airbrushes. Now here's a newer one from the 90s of the exact same Pache AB type, same price. So the age really doesn't matter in most of these. Even if it's old, from the 30s or from the 90s, a newer one in the box, never touched, they still go for about the same money. People are going to use these. These are items that someone's going to buy and use. They're not going to sit there and store these. They're going to use them. People who are into airbrushes love finding these vintage ones. That's why they sell for so much and so quickly. Sometimes there's a fight for these, and you'll see tons of bids as well if they're put up as an auction. Now, another area many people don't pay much attention to are the paints made for airbrushes in general. This is a very large lot. They put it up as a bin. It's sold very, very, very quickly because of the massive amount of paint in here. You can sell individual bottles of paint sometimes for $10 or $15 if you get the right maker, if you get the right brand and style as well. So any of the things related to airbrushing, I do sell extremely well, or I keep them for myself. If you want to make a lot of money real quick, this is one area that I would always look out for. Craigslist, you can see them for sale sometimes. Facebook Marketplace, as well as even local newspapers. As I said, flea markets, antique malls, any of those sorts of places are awesome places to source this type of item. Well, there we have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
It's not always easy being the middle kid. You know, too little to be the big kid, too big to be the little kid. Cabbage Patch toddler kids. Not as big as older Cabbage Patch kids, not as little as Cabbage Patch babies.
Has anybody seen my bag? Oh, she's cute. She's Sarah Beck.
Cabbage Patch toddler kids. Being in the middle means being in the middle of fun. Each sold separately from Coleco.